Hi,
Hello.
Hey, how are you guys?
doing good.
Great.
Well, thanks for doing this because I know we're all excited for this big cinema experience. But before I even get into it, I just have to give you guys credit. I mean, obviously it's my job, but as a fan, I'm still listening to Trench as if the damn album just came out yesterday. Like that's how you guys are really good. I'm just here to let you know that.
Oh, stop.
Thank you.
It's such a good album, and then Scaled and Icy is already out. I feel like I'm backlogged on music because it's really good. So you guys are really giving it all you have. Was Scaled and Icy easier than Trench, or was one not easier than the other?
Oh, it's a good question. Scaled and Icy, we recorded and produced all ourselves. So, well, mostly. I mean, obviously we had some additional like help on the some additional production and also mixing. Shout out Paul Meady and Adam Hawkins. But the kind of the heavy lifting for Scaled and Icy it's just kind of like all stayed right here, which was a bit of a daunting task. And I was just talking the other day about how when you produce your own record, there's a lot of busy work that has nothing to do with creativity. And just making sure that everything's organized and your crossfades on audio files are correct, and making sure there's no pops and some weird sounds, and just kind of combing through it and trying to be as diligent as you can. And when you start to dive into a song and you get that surgical with it, you lose perspective of whether or not what you're doing is even good, because you're, like, what if I wanted to just make that bridge the verse and kind of like rearrange? So it's a juggling act, trying to be that producer mind, and then also that creative songwriter mind. And I would say that's kind of like one of the main differences between the two records. On Trench, we had our friend Paul kind of took more of the production side of things. So and I don't know what we're going to do next. We'll probably do a hybrid / I think we've done our fair share of producing out our own records by ourselves. We might bring in some people to help us bring it to life. But we'll always stand by, the songwriting and all the decisions creatively, lyrics especially, all stay right here, which is a weird thing to have to promise, because it seems like such a normal thing to have happen. A band writes their songs, right? That's just but you'd be surprised. I mean, maybe not you specifically surprised, but people would be surprised how many opportunities there are to just take someone else's song and make it your own, and go, here's our song, and someone else wrote it, and you don't even know what the lyrics mean. You just read it and sang it. And that happens a lot more than we might think. And so we're making sure we're going to stay dedicated to creating and writing our own music for our careers.
I get that. Let's talk about, the cinema experience. I remember years ago when Metallica came out with Through the Never, like the concert film thing. And I didn't think it was going to be as great as it was, because I'm like, well, you're in a movie theater. That's not the same as being at a concert when you can, feel the energy. And let me tell you, I got it, because it's like you're sucked into this vortex and everything's more intense and everything's heightened. So that kind of sold me on any movie theater experience for anything musically. So I'm stoked for this to hit theaters. And I know it's not going to be just a full on concert. We're going to get, backstage stuff, behind the scenes. Is it a little bit of everything?
Yeah, it is a little bit of everything. I will say we've already topped Metallica's ticket sales on this, so that's great.
Oh, that's a no-brainer. What is it all going to be like? How many performances will we get when we watch it in the theater?
Oh,
Because the trailer, you guys have the trailer up. Everybody watching this already knows at 21 Pilots, the trailer's up for it. So you kind of it keeps you wanting more. You don't know what to expect. So kudos to the trailer as well, because
yeah, I mean,
kind of all over the place.
To give some backstory, we did a live stream concert,
Yep.
All right, ready and go. And everything we're doing in this arena is going out to the world live. And it never really lived anywhere in a kind of like recorded video sense. It was always like hey, if you were there to, purchase I think there's like a $15 ticket to watch it online, it's gone now. And so now to kind of circle back and remix it so that it sounds really great in a theater. And I mean, that's a whole other science that we kind of learned this time around, which is crazy. Just the sound design that goes into mixing in a actual movie theater is fascinating. And yeah, we did this live stream concert, and we knew we had to do it different. You know, we know there were a lot of people who just said, all right, just put up a few cameras and let's get on stage and play our songs, and that's our live stream. We've just felt like that would get really stale so quickly, and so we knew we wanted to do something different than we'd ever seen. So there's different kind of set pieces and different locations, and we're moving and we're changing, and we have a reason for it all, and there's a beginning and an end and a destination and storyline kind of woven throughout. And so yeah, it's one of the hardest things we've ever done. I think we worked on it. I think we looked back, it was about 8 months of working on this live stream thing. And now, almost a year later, looking back, and it's going to be in theaters is really rewarding.
Now, do you guys have any plans on sneaking into any theaters? I mean, obviously you're in 2 different locations right now, like at home, but do you have plans to kind of sneak in to get not fan reactions? Because it's going to be awesome, but how are you going to watch it?
We haven't talked about that, Josh.
You have to do like some incognito disguise situation and like go in the back, like throw popcorn at people.
Yeah.
Start a ruckus. Yeah. What do you think? Josh, I can see you doing that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that would be fun to do. Yeah, like Tyler said, we haven't really talked about it, but it would be really fun. I think we'll probably have some sort of kind of like premiere, like friends and family, maybe like a day before. But it would be fun, I think, if Tyler and I kind of just picked a theater and went and showed up and got to experience it with everybody. But we'll see. That's something we'll talk about after this Zoom.
Well, you better start thinking about it.
I know.
So, because we're talking about everything being in a movie theater, because I know fans want to nitpick a little bit more inside of you guys. Like, what was that one movie theater experience, even as a kid? Like, was it going to see Star Wars when you were little, where you were like, wow, this is just whole new, like next level stuff to be in a movie theater, and it was all cool? And what was like one of those really cool moments for you when you were little Tyler and little Josh back in the day?
I will say that Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, I think I saw 3 or 4 times in theater. I saw it once, not really knowing much about the series, and then it was like, what? And I brought my brother. Next time I brought like some other friend. Like, you gotta watch. And so by the end of it, I remember when he chops his head off at the end, I was ready to stand up and like cheer because I like saw it coming. And I remember in the theater, like I just cheered that an orc got its head cut off. I'm like, this is like the nerdiest thing I've ever done, but I loved it.
Those are the best movies where people are interactive and they're clapping and like yelling at the screen. Josh, What about you?
Yeah, the first movie I saw in a theater, I think, was Toy Story, and I was a kid, and it was one of the coolest. It was just awesome. I think like that's and then it kind of that became the idea of going to a movie. Throughout middle school, high school, and still even today, it's kind of like, all right, I'm being intentional about going to this place, sitting down for the next, hour and a half to 2 hours. This is my job, is to like sit here and watch this. And I think it like, there are times in my life where it's become a real relief to like, maybe I'm stressed about stuff or going through a hard time or whatever, going there and feeling like I'm carving out this time to just kind of like enjoy this alternate world that somebody's created for me. It's awesome. I feel the same way about concerts too. And I think, and when we're on tour and when it's time to go on stage, and I'm kind of just like, all right, 2 hours, this is what we're supposed to be doing, and it's a complete it's just a break. It's kind of a break from the sometimes hard hard life or hard whatever's going on. And so yeah, to combine those two, music and a movie theater, I'm excited for it. And yeah, I still love going to movies.
I just asked you that question, not even thinking about my answer. Mine was Titanic. Back when I was a kid, I actually saw Titanic like 47 times because, it was all the Leonardo hype, but I brought new friends every time, and every time I cried. So it's not as cool as, Lord of the Rings, but that would have been my repeat movie child moment. which is probably awkward because there was like naked time and everything in it. But anyway, that was my thing in the theater. I'm excited to see this in theaters. People can already buy their tickets at 21pilots.film. Now, since I'm speaking for my people here in Houston, we get you guys in concert later in September, which I'm super excited for. But there is tons of theaters that we're going to be showing this cinema experience. You get the extended cut. It's going to be amazing. So I know Houston has been one of those cities where the minute we got the green light to live life, we are full force living life. So all those seats are going to be full. I promise you that. So if you guys get bored and you want to hop a PJ to Houston and sneak into one of the theaters, we'll be waiting. We'll be gladly, we'll wait for you.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And I know you've got more stations to do and people to see. So we'll see you in Houston in September and have a fantastic one.
Thank you so much.
Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.